Welcome back to another episode of Risky Plays Minecraft with Fans. Today is episode number 11, and I hope you guys enjoy this one. So, guys, what we're doing today is we're going to be breaking some bedrock. As you can see, I've already started an immense amount of it. But I will tell you this: I did have to duplicate the dragon egg. I will be getting rid of those at the end of this. How I duplicated, I'm not going to get into in this episode or in any videos. Just because that's not the kind of content I want to put out. If you guys are interested in it, I'm sure you guys can look into about a billion different ways to do it. But as for everything else, it's just Minecraft. So the way you break bedrock is through a glitch that is been in here for a while, actually, which is using something called lazy chunks. And lazy chunks are chunks that are very barely loaded in. Like, they're loaded in enough to be like, say that yeah, they're there, but they're not actually there. And so what we do to do that is you drop a dragon egg, as you see, from a distance where it'll drop, and then it takes the place of the block if there's a block underneath it, or if there isn't, then it'll drop all the way through to the end. So like none of these will actually all drop right here except for this one. This one will take the place of the block down there, whereas all of the other ones are going to take the place of the blocks right there. And again, with these two right here are going to take the drop through and take the place of the wood blocks down at the bottom. And that is because of the spacing between bedrock. I'm not going to get too much into it because I'm not like really the most technical person on that. All I know is I managed to get more dragon eggs, so I could do this more efficiently and more quickly, or just quicker in general to do this, so that I'm not taking 10 years, because I started out doing one at a time, and in some spots you have to break up to like 5 or 6 bedrock, and I'm like, that's taking too long. So what we're going to do is we're going to just go to where the end of this line is, which is 10 chunks away, and I'm going to turn off the thing and I'll show you how it works. So bear with me on the this little walk here. Okay, so we're going to flip this off, and I'm going to leave it off for a few seconds just so that I make sure that it reaches all the way down there before I turn it back on, even though I don't really wait that long. And then we're just going to chuck a couple of ender pearls and be all the way down here in no time. So as you can see, they all dropped, and so did my TARDIS banners. So you can see that they do take the place of the block directly below them. If there is a space like this one right here, will drop all the way down to there and take the place of that spot, and so on and so forth. So you can see that I did that. I now am going to just go ahead and cut this to the next clip. So the next time I see you guys, or next time you guys see me, I will have this done and dusted, and we'll move on to the next project for today's video, which is going to be I think building the donut, or working on the donut, which is a gold farm, or it could be something else. I'm not entirely certain of what we're doing today. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next clip. Okay guys, welcome back after that brief cut for you guys. It was actually almost a week for me. So at time of recording this clip, it is after the previous video, which was Pokia MMO, which is 4 days was posted 4 days after that first clip. So you can kind of see how long it's taken me to get that bedrock thing done, which is done, and I also built up the last floor and got us up here, brought our horse up from down below as well. He keeps on thinking he's gonna ride off into the sunset, but for some reason this thing keeps on breaking. So there's that. I also built up a little tree farm platform so that it allows us to plant quite a few trees, because obviously I needed a lot of wood for all of the stuff here, which is a spawning mechanism up on top of it, but that's going to change in the future with our gold farm, which you can see kind of sprouting up there. But we can't do that until we finish the iron farm, which I did finish off camera. I didn't even start it on camera just because I didn't know how well I was going to do with getting that up and going, and I ended up running into way more issues than you guys want to hear about. But I got it up and going. It spawns probably, I haven't really paid attention to how often it spawns an iron golem, and I'll also go through some of those spawn mechanisms, but I'm going to throw on my armor because I forgot that I took that off. I'm going to put that away and grab the Pengu Saber, or no, I don't want the Pengu Saber. Pengu Saber is the non-smite one, that's the knockback one. So I'm going to go over, actually I'm going to do something else before we go and look at the iron farm, which is I'm going to hop into Spectator to kind of show off the base real fast, because I don't really do this that often, but you guys can see it has grown quite a bit from that first set of stuff where it was burning down every other episode and everything. So it has grown quite a bit. There's some stuff out front or out the side of it that I gotta fix up that I just now noticed. I didn't even notice those prior. Some stair issues right here and on the inside as well, not wanting to work together, so we'll have to work on those, possibly get a debug stick to fix those, maybe, I don't know, we may not, we just may live with it. But yeah, this is the house. I do want to do more. I have currently the second floor being the floor with all of the storage on it. That's an interesting view of the shulker boxes. So that, and I want to get more into like what goes on each floor. Eventually, that was crazy. Eventually expand out into this area. I know one of the floors I planned on doing a super smelter, like I did in the overworld, but like built into the floor, like into the floor, not in the floor, but the floor as the room on that level of the house, with all of the hoppers and stuff that run into one centralized area. I think that'd be pretty cool to do, and it'd be easy to hide, not necessarily entirely behind walls, but hide well enough behind the walls that you wouldn't notice it as much, or all of the hoppers as much, and they'd run in the background. As for what we're doing next, I'm gonna get over here and hop back into survival. So you can see here, as I throw my sword over there, that we had some chunk issues with adding this to the server, to my personal server on my computer, and over here you can see I already dug it back out, but you can see that like it spawned in like 4 or 5 chunks or something back in the wrong area, or not necessarily in the wrong area, but like in an area where it wasn't originally prior clips. So just bear with me on that. I'm working on fixing that. We also have some other issues way over there that I will get into at a later date when we go and exploit those spawn or those chunk issues for what they're giving us, because it's going to be something really helpful for the future. But this is the iron farm. It's not really that efficient because it's built underground and not farther away from what this used to be a village. So I don't know if this still is a village, or if this got messed up when all of the villagers died and I started rebuilding things. But the way villages are described is with minimum of 10 villagers, which this one has 4 on each side, so 16, and 48 doors, and the and then you also have to have a minimum of 21 doors, but this is 48, so it comes down to, I believe, the way the measurement comes down to is like 16 total village houses or something. Some strange, weird way that is labeled out. I've been pretty much sitting AFK for the past hour or two, and have gotten some pretty decent iron. The poppies aren't going to be necessary, but they could be in the future. I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, so I'm going to go into spectator mode again and show this off a little bit with a better camera angle for you, so you can see that the farm is a 2-floor operation. So you can see, let me get into that, the water flow does flow all the way to the center. You see there's a killing mechanism, so I don't have to fight the iron golems by myself, which is a pain, mind you. Like, if you've ever tried killing an iron golem, and if you haven't, I really suggest trying, so you can see how much of a pain it is. So we have the killing mechanism down there and all of that, so you can see that it leads into quite a few hoppers. A lot of the iron from when I built this went into the hoppers to finish this up. There's actually one missing, which leads me to believe that there is, holy mackerel, that's a lot more iron than I expected to see. So there's actually quite a bit. That makes this so much better. As for how well this is working, because that's a lot more iron than I was expecting. You get like 2 or 3, sometimes 4 from them. So I'm gonna have to go grab a hopper to finish that off real fast. But that's a lot of iron, and that's gonna be really helpful for keeping track of how well this is doing. Now that we have a better way of noticing, or I'm glad I noticed that now instead of later. But here's a better look at the chunk issue. It did remove this entire area and then spawned 2 chunks, one right there and right there, inside of this little area, which I don't know if it's going to work. I'm going to build it up and find out, but it may not work for what I wanted to do with it, so I may just, I don't know, do something with it. So let's run up and grab a hopper real fast, because that shouldn't be too hard to fix. Hoppers. Oh wow, I have a lot of hoppers. Oh, that's because I tore down the whatchamacallit, the super smelter, and I ended up making a lot more hoppers. Great. I have more hoppers than I need, so I don't know. I'll figure out something to do with them. This is actually one of my favorite things to do, is to jump down from up there and fly to the nether portal. We'll also go over to the Ender because I did some a little bit of stuff over there for that, so we'll cover that here in just a second as well. But we're gonna grab one of those. There we go. Just gonna break this with my hand because I have too many to deal with not being able to get out of this spot. Okay, so that should hopefully fix this side now, but this side did really well. I'm shocked that I didn't even try to see if the other side was working properly, because I didn't even notice that only one side was working. I just figured that I messed up the hoppers up towards the top, and they were all feeding into one side of that instead of both sides. So we're gonna head over the Ender real fast, which shouldn't take very long because Elytra and everything like that. So that's something pretty good. I think I can also snag some Ender Pearls from a little spot beforehand, so I don't have to run all the way there. So I also wanted to, well, great. While we're walking over there, if you guys are enjoying this series, please do remember to smash the like button, and I hope you guys all understand that this is supposed to be the fan, like, let's play with fans, on a fan server, but for some reason, or actually not for some reason, again, and this is probably the last time I'm going to refer to this, is that because of an internet issue, I am no longer able to provide that kind of content for you guys, which does really bum me out because I had a lot of fun playing, especially with Bobby, who showed up for almost every episode. But a lot of fun playing with all of you guys who showed up, especially live streaming. I really miss doing that. But at this time, it's just not possible for me to do. I really hope you guys do understand that and show some love for me in the comments and with hitting the like button. It does mean a lot. The more likes I get, the more I know that you guys want to see more of this. And also, please do show some love on the Poco MMO series with Captain, because that's going to be a lot of fun. Barely going to get away. Maybe. I don't know if I'm going to actually get away. And we're back. So, this is the Ender, and I'll do a third-person flyby of this. But I did put in hoppers down underneath and made them TP-proof. So, if you guys don't know what that is, I just double carpeted the top of everything so that they couldn't TP there and kill you. So, this is the Ender. I have chests now for mass storage, along with these ones here, which are, I believe, almost all full. Yeah, all but... well, either way, you got to see that. I'm going to quickly run back over, and this shouldn't take too long because I'm going to hop into third person, and third person flies really fast. So we're going to hop over, well, as soon as I TP into the nether, hop over into spectator, kind of show you the flyby. So that's the staircase up to this ledge. And then I gotta get a better path going to this thing. That's what I know for certain. And then it's just a staircase down here. Not really paying attention to too much of the other stuff. And then hop out back into this. And because I don't know if it's a bug or if it's just a feature that they don't allow you to, while in spectator, go to like in and out of the nether, which is odd. I don't know if that's a feature or just a bug. Oh, that's a fancy, not really a fancy view, but a different view that you don't really get to see that often. So the Ender I didn't come up with the name of this thing. That's just the name that whoever developed this style of what's the word I'm looking for? Style of farm called it. So obviously you can see that this isn't completely proof of Enderman because they do somehow get up there, which is because they get pushed through these gaps here and through the fences and through the transparent blocks. But you can see down here that I put in just a straight split 50-50. One goes one way, one goes the other. So that splits right here, and they go. This one goes that way, and this one goes this way. So you can see that I kind of split that up a little bit. So that's pretty much everything I've done off camera. The only other thing I did was build that tower on top of the nether, but that's not really anything necessary. Haven't done any more end city exploration because I kind of want you guys to be there for that, and I don't want really to anything like that, or really want you guys to get left out on any kind of adventure like that, at least. As for building's not really that fun or interesting to watch, at least from my experience. I like to get snippets of building sometimes, but that's just me personally. I don't know about you guys. So in the comments, let me know what you guys would like to see. If you wanted to see me build this, I can probably do a tutorial, or I could just link to a couple, show you guys some of the cool stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please do remember to hit the like button. It means a lot to see what you guys enjoy. But until the next time, guys, I am Risky, and I will see you guys in the next one. And until then, don't forget to stay risky.